Okay, so in terms of GameStop, in my opinion, I think we still have two more short squeeze run-ups overall. And I'm going to elaborate more in this video, but in case if you don't have time to watch it all, I'm going to do a quick run through and then I'm going to elaborate way more in this video. So given that the stock is still shorted almost 40% in terms of shorts, in terms of floated shares, then that's the reason why I still think we still have two more run-ups. We closed at $151.18 as of April 23rd. If you've seen my last video, highly encourage you to watch it because I go in more in-depth dive in terms of these support levels, resistance levels, so on and so forth. But if we bounce off this upward trend support level that I think we will, and I've been saying for the past few trading days that we potentially are going to meet up to it, which looks like we are, bounce up to the upside, then I think the first run up will lead us up into the $300 price point, essentially $320 to $380 price point. If you wanted to be on the safe bet, I guess just make sure you're okay at the low $300 price point. Then the second run up, if you're optimistic though, expecting two run ups as well, then it will lead us into the $400 to $600 price point. More essentially, maybe max $580 as well. Now, if these upward trend support levels do not hold up, and we break them and then rely on essentially the $112 to $119 support level and then bounce up to the upside, then it's going to be quite of an issue to pass at the $200 price point. But because I still think that there's going to be two run-ups overall in terms of short squeeze, then I still think the first short squeeze will make us pass the $200 price point, and then the second run-up will make us go to the $300 price point that I mentioned earlier. Now, there's more stuff to cover, and I'm going to elaborate more on that. But in the meantime, welcome to Wealthy Mindset. My name is Oliver. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope you're having a great day. In today's video, I'm going to talk about GameStop, obviously, in terms of short squeeze, and analyze the graph, provide fundamentals, and a quick disclaimer before I begin. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a professional. And everything I do share with you is just my opinion. It is not advice. So please do not buy or sell based off the information I give you or the opinions I do form. Please do your own due diligence and research before buying and selling. So now if we look at the data, this is GameStop right here. Go to statistics, go to shorted shares in terms of percentage for float. It's at 38.93% as of March 31st, 2021. So they update these once or twice a month. And in terms of how much is it shorted, is it a lot? Is this still considered a lot? Because it used to be shorted at 100%, over 100%. Yes, it is. When a stock is shorted over 20%, it's considered extremely shorted. Now, the only thing is though, it's 15.29% again as of March 31st, 2021 in terms of shorted shares, percentage shorted shares of outstanding. The difference between the two though, floated shares removes restricted shares, outstanding shares it's basically all the shares including restricted shares. So this puts it into question a little bit, but still quite shorted by a lot. And because of the 40% overall, give or take, I believe we still have two more run-ups. If you're skeptical and not as optimistic, I would say guaranteed at least one more run-up. Now, the thing is, though, how significant is the run-up going to be? Because some numbers being thrown out there are astronomical. And could it still jump up like crazy? Yeah, it can. But if you want to be somewhat not too optimistic, somewhat realistic here and there and all stuff, I'll say put this into perspective. So this is a 20 times multiple when it was over 100% shorted. Then obviously shorts covered, right? And then this is a 4 times multiple. So if you had a 20 times multiple, then you decrease to a 20 times multiple, decrease to a 4 times multiple, then I think it's fair to say that you can't expect a massive run up like this when they've went from over 100% shorted to now 40% shorted, right? Because they dropped 60%, more than 60% in terms of coverage, right? They dropped down. So if that's the case, then I think it's fair to say to expect a 2 times run up, right? Or maybe a 3 times run up, but nothing crazy like this. That's why the astronomical numbers, hopefully it runs up. That's awesome, great stuff. But to be more realistic and let's just say if you want to be skeptical and all stuff, then I think it's fair to say that yes, there will be run ups, but they're just not going to be as massive. Again, anything is possible. Nobody knows for sure. And this is just my opinion. Don't take it as advice. But that's why I'm thinking 2 times multiple. Yeah, that's fair, right? 151 times it by 2, 300. And then I think 400 and 600 is in play just because another thing is too, once you pass, so essentially you're going to have turbulence, by the way, because you might ask what levels at 300 is going to be causing the issues, right? Well, you're between $320 to $380 might be where you might be capped at. So somewhere between that range. So if you're looking, I think it's safe to say that you could get to 320 if you were looking to hypothetically like sell at that point. But it all depends on what you want to do. It's all your game plan, right? Because maybe you'll be anticipating even more short squeeze. Like I said, the second short squeeze part, right? Because I think there's going to be two personally, but 320 to 380. And if it plays off, bouncing off this upward trend support line. So then after that, you pass 380, you'll be heading to the all-time high again of 480. But if you pass 483, especially $500 price point, I think there'll be even more of a run up a little bit too as well. Just because I think shorts might panic and cover whatever they might have also. So that's why I'm anticipating at least like $600 to getting to. So that's the thing. So maybe $580. Yeah, I would say that would probably be the max. So if you wanted to be safe, $580, give or take, something like that. And then, but yeah, so that's what I'm expecting. So in terms of short squeeze, this is basically it. Again, anything is possible. Shorts could even start shorting more. So if hypothetically this short, in terms of percentage of shorted shares in terms of float increases, then that changes everything dramatically, right? Then that would mean like if it increased right now to 60% and we're right here, then that's actually pretty good, because then that would mean the short squeezes are going to be even more massive. So again, it all depends, has to be assessed like week by week, month by month, so on and so forth. The thing is though, if it does break this upward trend support level, right, then what are we looking at? Well, then we would have support $112 to $119 price point, give or take, and then we have another short squeeze play to the run up. Now, the thing is though, will we see $300 price point in terms of short squeeze? If they do an amazing job in terms of covering their shorts by this and that tactics and all that stuff, et cetera, then that's the reason why I think if you're not too optimistic, I think it's fair to say that $300 is still possible, because 40% is still massive. But that's basically it for the video. Thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it. If you liked the video, consider dropping a like. It does help out the channel a lot. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask. I'll try to answer them as soon as possible. If you like videos like this or other stock videos or other financial videos, consider subscribing. It does help out the channel a lot. Thank you so much for that. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks again for watching, and peace.